Invincible Season 1, baby.
Invincible Season 1.
That was right in my ear, Camden. If you ever yell into the microphone again, I'm coming to your house and kicking your throat.
Okay.
But let's talk about Invincible 1, the Robert Kirkman created and led animation project found beautifully on Amazon Prime Videos. If you don't have it, get it. What are you doing with your life? You'll get this, and you get The Boys, and that's pretty much all the good stuff that they have.
And 2-day shipping.
Hell yeah.
And 2-day shipping. But
That's what it's
And
all
Camden
about.
Powell.
Camden Powell.
You get a free Camden
How
Powell.
did
every
you do
purchase,
that?
every
Your Amazon
purchase, you
Prime
get it.
subscription.
Camden Powell. 1 in a million. That's what it's all about. But before we talk in all the juicy little bits of Invincible Season 1, we just take a bite out of it from a Burger Mart burger. We got first talk spoiler free for those of you who are uninitiated or simply don't care enough and just want to know when we talk about all the gooey good stuff at the inside. So, Jackson, why don't you take a crack at the spoiler free review of Invincible?
So he's a superhero, and just
Who?
his name's Mark, and he gets superpowers when he's a teen, and he has to learn how to use them and save people while also juggling high school.
That's a pretty
Nice.
good. That's a pretty astute review without spoiling or anything.
Yeah,
He's got to follow the family business, even if he doesn't want to. It's a great show. Our spoiler-free review rating of it before we get into it, I think this is a 9 out of 10 right here.
I'm gonna say an 8.5.
I'm going to give it a 9.5.
Before we jump right into the spoilers, I just got to say, is this the highest rated thing you've ever seen? Because that a 9.5 is high, brother.
I think it might be. I really, really like this show. I thought it was really, really good. That's all I have to say on the matter, though. I'm not elaborating.
But you know what else is really, really good?
Mm-hmm.
Spoilers! Anyone who has not seen the show and who does not...
What? I thought you were going to say Dream Horse.
That's that's a great point. Everything.
I mean, that would also be true.
That'd also be true. But right now we're talking about spoilers. This is just a spoiler warning for everyone listening. If you don't want to have this amazing show spoiled, go watch it. They're about Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode length. Come back. There's only about 8 of them. It's a great show. It's a good watch. You can knock it all out in a day like I did. And get back here so we could talk about spoilers. But the first thing we should talk about, this is a gory show.
I mean, yeah.
Very gory.
Yeah. Pretty rough.
So I want to preface this. I had a bit of the ending spoiled for me because
There were a
of TikTok,
lot of memes.
and I'm very sad about it. A lot of
Think,
memes
Mark.
about the whole scene where he's just
That is
think,
a
Mark.
good meme.
Yeah, that like sound was like popular on TikTok and people were like using it, and I was like, oh, I wonder what this is from. And then I started watching the show, and I was like, oh,
Oh, that can't be good.
probably the show with J. Jonah Jameson and Mark.
You were just like, oh no. As you're like slowly
I was like,
just
oh, what's
watching it.
And you know what else spoiled it?
Hmm.
The episode titles. I don't know if you guys read the episode titles before you started
Yeah,
watching.
They
But
did.
they
you're
gave a
right.
lot away. I didn't like that. And they're also in all caps, which was a little threatening.
Stop yelling at me.
Stop
I like.
yelling at me,
Okay,
please.
you guys know how they opened every episode, or like they showed the title whenever someone would be like, "Oh, he
Yeah.
has to be,"
Mhm.
and then they flash Invincible or something like that. There was one time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do
it
you guys
got
remember
more
there was like
bloody.
one time where you're like, "Oh, they're gonna say it," and then they didn't. He was gonna tell. No,
Oh,
he was
yeah.
gonna
No,
tell
I don't remember that.
his what's her name, Amber. You thought he was gonna
Yeah.
tell Amber, and he's like, "I'm," and then you thought they were gonna flash
She's
the
like, "I
title.
know you're a
And then he was
superhero."
like, "Just a little like tired right now," or something like that. I thought that was clever. I don't know. This show did a lot of like clever things.
That is funny. But I don't know if you guys noticed, but over the course of the 8 episodes, that title screen got super bloody.
It's a
by the
subtle
end of it.
detail.
Very
It's a
subtle.
very
Blink and
subtle
you'll
detail.
miss it.
Blinking,
It
you'll miss
was
it.
really
Blink and you'll
covered
miss
in
it kind
blood.
of.
A lot of blood.
I like how in episode 8 it was just like a bucket worth. It just went. It just covered like the entire logo.
You couldn't even read
Yeah,
it.
but before it was like a little droplet and then like a punch splatter, and then at the end someone went like, "Welcome to the Nickelodeon Kids Teen Choice Awards," and they just
because
dropped
the
it.
last episode was it was just a little bit
more
gory
bloody.
than the rest of the show.
Now, before we
All right,
jump forward,
before we continue,
I want to talk about the voice
Are you
acting
kidding me?
in this show.
No, I have a
Fantastic.
question before we continue. I have a
Fantastic.
question.
What's your question?
I have a question.
Why is your question more important?
because I'm better than you.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll just talk specifically to Jackson. Jackson, are they invincible? Like, for
No,
real, though? Like,
no,
are they
no,
actually
no.
invincible?
Of course not. Both of them almost died.
Know. Yeah, but his dad was like, you literally are invincible.
Well,
though.
he
And
means
that's where
that,
he,
like,
got the name
relatively. As in, like, you're invincible compared.
I don't know, though. Okay, I'm so confused about their powers. Because homie just took explosions and was like, I'm fine. But then he, like, got punched a few times and was like, oh, God, that hurts so bad.
Okay, Camden, I can explain this for
Please do.
your tiny peanut brain.
Okay.
Let's jump into it. Well, first of all, in episode 8, we see when Omni-Man is talking about his origins. We see them all killing each other.
Yeah.
So we know at the very least, Pokemon rules. Water versus water. They're gonna kill each other.
They can kill each other, but can anything else kill them?
We know that they also have enhanced healing. A subtle detail from Omni-Man, he got his eyes jabbed into from the immortal dude. And his eyes were red for the entire episode. But at the very end, they started whitening up. Which means that, like, given enough time, they can heal from whatever.
Yeah.
But on top of having this super secret organization run by Cecil, they're going to be totally fine. Like, it's just jumping their super healing. I think I think it follows Wolverine rules, where enough brute force, he'll die anyways, but invincible to the extent of no one kills you, you'll live forever.
That's what's confusing. Like, he got, like, beat up and was, like, out for the count, but, like, a normal person could take a lot of a beat. Obviously, they're superheroes or whatever, but, like, putting it in, like, normal people terms, right? Getting beat up, like, yeah, you can recover from that. Why is getting beat up more effective against him than, like, explosions? They blew up the house and he was fine. They put that laser beam down on him and he was fine. I don't get it. It didn't feel consistent in terms of their powers. It felt very like when the plot needed them to do a specific thing, they could do it. And when it needed them to be a different way, they would do that.
I think it's just following the Superman rules, where nothing can hurt you until it needs to.
Okay. That's fair,
maybe.
I guess. That makes sense.
I mean, like, it's just like anything. Like, Captain America's shield's unbreakable until Thanos has a magic sword.
Yeah.
Iron Man suit's impervious until he gets a nuke dropped on him.
Really
Everything is
distracting
just
for me when I was watching this show. Like, I was constantly like, how? What are the rules? Like, I wish that they were more clearly stated.
Yeah, there was the one episode where Invincible was fighting the robots, where I was just like, why is he losing to them? They're like metal. Like, shouldn't he be stronger than like way stronger than metal?
Which robots? I forgot this completely.
it's just
the one where they went to the college and the crazy like smart dude turned the dude's boyfriend into a cyborg.
Oh,
played by Zack Snyder's Ezra Miller.
Yeah, I saw that.
Really?
They had a bunch of interesting voice actors. They had Justin Roiland.
They did. Justin Roiland.
They had
was
Rick
in
and
it.
Morty on the
They
show.
had Rick and Morty.
He turned into a robot.
Yeah.
He got his tonsils ripped out.
Yeah.
Permanently.
They had
This show's gross.
What's the one actor called who pretty much just plays the crazy guy in every single show he's in? He played Rex. What's that actor's name?
Rex Splode?
Yeah.
That guy? Time to do a little bit of a Google because I forgot his name.
It's
Rex.
He has a cool name. I
Splode.
like this guy's name.
Voice actor. There we go. And his name is Jason Matsuzuka.
Yeah.
He's in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
He's in like everything.
He's
but
in
he
everything.
always
He's
plays
in
the
everything.
crazy out there character. It's just
He's
how
always
his
got that
voice
funny
is.
voice.
Yeah.
Can I just say, Rex Splode? That guy sucks.
Yeah, but that's the point.
Yeah, I know. He's just a
Yeah.
douchebag.
I think they meant...
Okay, just this show had so many different plot lines going on during the show that I never knew which direction they were going to take it. Obviously, there's like the overarching plot line of like, who is the dad really? But then at the end, you kind of like, in that last episode, you're like, oh, well, the show's over. And then they're like, here's this thing that we haven't wrapped up, and this thing, and this thing, and this thing, and this thing, and this thing. And you're like, okay, there's going to be a season 2.
Well, there's 4
Well,
seasons.
yeah. Oh, you
confirmed,
missed it.
right?
Last week we talked about it.
3 seasons.
3 seasons. Seasons 2 and 3 were confirmed.
Sweet.
But you would know that last week if you...
I
if you didn't go.
Shut up,
No, I'm
man.
kidding. You're fine. But, yeah, there's a lot that it dips into. I found this thing to know the specific information because don't look at me past this point because I pretty much stopped reading after this pretty much big fight because I thought that was it.
Yeah.
And then I didn't realize that it continued afterwards. But it finishes up at around issue 12, but it does certain things out of order to fit this different storyline. It's like The Walking Dead or The Flash or whatever. They're telling the story pretty much page by page, but they do certain things differently. Like the Guardians of the Globe aren't killed in the first issue of the comics.
Yeah.
But they did that early, so that way
That
that
was
mystery
cool,
And
by
that
the
like
way.
grabbed
That
everyone's
was
attention.
really
Like
cool.
you're like, oh,
Absolutely,
what the?
yeah.
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 Because you're like, why would he do this?
And then it doesn't get
And then,
explained until pretty much 7 episodes later.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're doing a very good job with pacing because there's over 150 issues, and if we were to look at like the content that they've done they've gotten to issue 12 with like a few storylines ahead, kind of pulled closer. But pretty much they have a lot of left to go over, a new Invincible costume, and plenty more characters to introduce. So that's exciting, and I enjoyed how they did things slightly differently than the comics because I wanted this series to finish because I knew what was going to happen with this initial storyline. I'm like, okay, I know Omni-Man's evil. I wonder how they're going to do it. And the way that they jumped it immediately
from like the first 10
Oh yeah,
minutes.
as soon
Don't
as
grab
Mark got his
J.K.
powers.
Simmons and make him play a complex character. He's either really good or really evil.
Yeah.
Those are the two J.K.
I
Simmons.
thought it was really cool how we got to see the training. I feel like a lot of superhero like training montages are like you don't really understand what they're going through. Like you don't understand. You don't have superpowers, obviously. But in this show, they like took
You
the
wouldn't get it,
time
Mom.
to like explain it, like how when they fly, it's like learning to walk, and you have to think about balancing. But then like it becomes like second nature at a certain point. I thought that like made a lot of sense, you know. And how he was like, we have leverage off of any which direction. Like it doesn't matter. We don't have to like just push off the floor. Like we can get momentum from anything. And I thought like they really like put an emphasis on like how different the way that they fly is compared to like Superman or something, where he just kind of like hovers there and like kind of bobs up and down in like all the shows and movies. When they were flying, they were just standing completely still in midair. Like they would just like they were just there. Like every other like superhero that flies kind of like, you know what I mean? Like they hover up and down like to show that they're like floating or whatever. They were just like moving through space, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, no, they do a really good job separating everything also. And what I found really interesting and something that you think couldn't really be done to this like level of success is juggling this many characters and having all of them have complex and interesting interweavings with one another. Like this is like Godzilla versus Kong, but all their backstories actually feed into everything. Not like, here's a picture of my dead wife, let's go fight a gorilla. It's like, well, I had my powers since I was a kid, but then my parents blew up because I didn't know how to control them. So I've been working with these people to learn it. And you're like, okay, so this character's that thing. And they really tie it all together.
And they had a few storylines they like prioritize over others. Like for example, like Robot. We learned a lot about him, and also he literally got a body. I thought that was weird.
Yeah.
But
I can't tell if he's supposed to be a good guy or a bad guy.
I think he's supposed to be good, but I think that
he's good.
He has like a
with
love for
bad
Monster Girl.
Like he's like
intentions.
He doesn't he's not human almost, which he's robot, I guess, but he was human. I don't really know his full spiel, but I think he's like having a hard time understanding like morals and like what's right and wrong.
Yeah.
Like even though he is a human, he's still very like computational brain, you know.
Well, yeah, because he's been like in that form for like over 20 years that like completely separates someone from their humanity. Interesting characters, complex characters. You can write a whole essay on each of them. I would like to say that I loved all the guest voice actors in it as well. Yeah. I think having Mark Hamill playing one of the integral costume design makers was a great, like, Mark Hamill's in every comic book medium of cartoons. So to throw him into this as well, you're like, this is great. Thank you for this.
A lot
and just
of
having
big
fun
names.
little voices,
So
like
many
Seth
big
Rogen.
names. Yeah.
Seth Rogen is Alan the Alien, which I thought was great.
Yeah.
None of the voices don't fit the characters perfectly.
No, they did a great job with the voice acting for sure.
Like you see jokes where they're like, "If Invincible were live action," and it's just the voice actors next to the characters
like that guy,
as they're doing
by
that.
the way, Alan the Alien. I thought he was funny. Like how he was like, "Oh, you're not. Oh, this is Earth,
not Earth."
Yeah.
Oh shit. All right, bye.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh."
They do a really good job. They do a good job not taking everything seriously.
Yeah.
Like they throw you something and you just have to go with it. Like they're like, "How do I breathe in space?" Just hold your breath, and you're just like, "How do they? okay, whatever, and you just
You know
watch
what
the
I'm
scene.
confused on?
What are you confused on, Jackson?
How Cecil has literally everything. He has intelligence on anything and everyone, and yet he never like got the information that there was a Viltrumite living on his planet, and like he never learned about what Viltrum really was, because he probably knew that Omni-Man was Viltrumite, right?
Well, yeah,
but
he talked about it before.
But I think the fact was that Omni-Man immediately went to him and he's like, I come here and I'm a good guy. Yeah. And then he's like, okay, I guess.
Yeah, it's just...
I mean, I think when you have someone that you grow so close to, who is always doing the right thing in your eyes, who like came to you with great intentions, you're not going to think twice about it. You're not going to question their actual intentions there. Like, even though he's a very not narcissistic, but pessimistic, like, poor outlook on everything, like think the worst in every situation. I think in this one case, like he even says like we were great friends, what happened? Like to him it was almost like just a big stab in the back, you know?
Yeah, probably.
And we could talk forever about this. I just want to talk about two more things. The first thing, we could say what we want. Omni-Man, the mom, and Invincible, the Grayson family, the best parts of this show. So hands good. Down. The interactions, the way that it just feels like you're watching a
why doesn't he fuck Eve yet?
Dude.
Please.
They don't like each other.
They kind of do, though.
What about Amber? He likes Amber.
I don't like Amber. Amber annoys me.
I think Amber's great too. She's like actually a good person.
And she is a character who is intelligent.
There's no reason for them to still be together.
She was pretty much broken up with him, but in the final episode, like when she sees him standing up to his dad, like she's like, oh wait. I think that was like kind of a turning moment.
That's kind of not a great reason to get back together with someone though. I feel like, I don't know. Now we're just getting into like...
I mean, she's seen that he has the right intentions, that he will literally fight a losing battle for the people he loves, which is her.
Okay, fair.
Speaking about fighting a losing battle, the second and final thing I wanted to talk about, the final episode, which was almost entirely just a fight.
It's so good. That was awesome.
It was actually really good. The last episode just hit me.
This is comparable to the final act of Zack Snyder's Justice League, where it's just like 40 minutes of fighting. Just non-stop fighting.
This was so good. Like, it was just destroying Mark, and Omni-Man just had no feelings about anything. It was so cool.
Well, until the end.
Until the
end. He got his feelings back.
Which was, I don't know where they're taking that at all. I don't know what the direction they're going to go in is.
And then, like, not only is he killing people, like, you know, physically, but he's also, like, emotionally wrecking his wife. Like, I felt terrible.
She didn't really seem like she cared, though. She seemed like she had accepted that he was a god-awful person and only cared about Mark from that point on.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but like you could see, they do a good job in the last episode where she's not like, all right, let's go, Mark. Like, there's the moments where like Mark peeks in the bedroom and sees his mom like completely breaking down.
Well, no one's gonna be just fine.
Like
she's she's doing better off than I expected her to.
Hey, genocidal maniacs, am I right?
The train scene.
The train scene. Oh, I wanted to touch on this. I noticed this pretty early on. A fun thing for people who have read the comics or simply have seen a few pages of it. Every time they do a slow motion or freeze frame, they did a shot-for-shot remake of a panel from the comic.
Oh, really?
There's a moment where he's like flying and it freezes for a second, and him lifting up the rock. Those are like shots.
That was a dope-ass shot, though. I was like, so he's just really limitless in his power. Like, the
I really
shit
enjoyed
he did
that.
was just impressive.
They do a good job, like going, hey, people who enjoy this comic book, we have this.
Yeah.
But people who have no idea who this is, let us welcome you into Invincible. This is a fantastic first season.
Great job. I really, really enjoyed it.
Fantastic job. Great violence. Bring a barf bag if you're queasy, because you'll see some you're gonna see some shit.
Like, you don't think it's that bad until he starts killing the Guardians, and you're like, oh my god! Like, he just cuts off Immortal's head with his hand.
And that's in the first episode.
And then he snaps her neck all the way around. Oh my god. The deaths in that. Squeezing his brain. Bro.
My favorite one was the one where he took the Batman character and just slammed him into the ground twice and just exploded his head.
Yeah, by the way, all just Justice League characters.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Is that the point?
Yeah, well, if you listen to their names, like, they're
War
almost
Woman.
completely copies.
Yeah.
One of their names is the Martian.
Yeah.
As opposed to Martian Manhunter. They really didn't. They were
Red
just trying to
Blur.
show like, oh look.
I feel like the Flash has been called the Red Blur before he got his real name.
No, his name's the Red Racer.
The Red
Red
yeah.
Rush.
Red
because
Rush.
He's Russian.
Yeah, Red Rush.
Because he's
Same
Russian.
Then there was the
thing.
fish dude, which is
Same
like
thing.
Aquaman, but like an actual fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. That first episode, I didn't like it at first because I haven't read the comics. I didn't know anything about it. So to me, it just felt very lazy. But now looking back, I understand it, you know? But at first...
They had to tease you in the beginning.
Yeah, at first, I did not like that part of it.
What I just found so, like, this is like a love letter to both superhero things, the comics itself, and superhero comics, because a lot of the voice actors in this are known for doing a bunch of different voices of characters.
Mm-hmm.
You have Cyborg from Teen Titans in here. You have Mark Hamill as the voice of the Joker. They do a really good job having these voice actors that have recognizable voices playing characters in this show as well.
Yeah.
It's a good job all around. This show is so good. Jackson is crying right now.
In tears. On the floor.
But we already gave our final thoughts, so we're hitting it with a 9 out of 10. Wow, this is the highest thing I think we've rated.
So. Well, Dream Horse.
Dream
10
Horse.
out of 10
Not yet.
every
We'll get
single
there.
time.
We'll get there.
No matter
We
what the
will get
movie
there.
is, like 10 out
Oh
of 10.
God, we'll get there. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode. Next week, we're going to do something a little unorthodox. We're going to be looking at the Netflix movie Mitchell versus the Machines, made by the same crew who did Into the Spider-Verse. Heard nothing but good things. Let's see what it's all about. But don't forget to follow us on our social medias.
Twitter at Roomies Movies.
And Instagram at Roomies Talkin Movies.
And if you want to find us just on our own personal social medias, I am on Instagram at It's Danan Camden.
I think I'm just at Camden Powell on both Twitter and Instagram.
And I'm at J Salvest on Instagram.
God, that's whenever Jackson talks, it's just my
Butter.
heart pumps butter in my soul.
Soul butter.
We love you all so much, and we're gonna see you all next week. Take care. Bye bye.
Ta-ta.
Have a good one.
Do not end it on butter, Camden. Do not
I
end it on
said
butter.
ta-ta.
I thought you said butter.
No.